College football picture. And today, we take a particularly close view of several areas. We'll have a report on college football in the Missouri Valley, in the Southwest, and in the South. And our guest expert this morning is Len Morton, the sports director of station KVOO-TV in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Len, that's a big chunk of country that you're reporting on for us today. You got the ball, so go.
Okay, Jack. And we have some of the nation's top teams in those areas. The competition is keen, and it makes for good fan interest and close competition. For a sample, let's look at some of this year's action on a few of our college gridirons. Here's Oklahoma's candidate for All-American center, Bob Harrison. He intercepts an Oregon pass to set up Oklahoma's winning touchdown. Harrison also is a fine blocker. Auburn here has one of the best defenses in the country. Billy Wilson and Leo Sexton throw Georgia Tech for a loss. And here's Tulsa halfback Ronnie Morris, already drafted by the New York Giants, going for a touchdown against Oklahoma State. In the same game, Oklahoma State's great end, Jim Wood, takes a pass from Dick Sorgel, a 52-yard play. And Tulsa's Joe Chief makes the tackle at the 2-yard line. One of the country's phenomenal passers, Don Meredith of Southern Methodist, fires one here to Hank Christopher for an SMU touchdown against Georgia Tech. And a team that could wind up #1 in the nation is unbeaten, untied Louisiana State University, sparked by their great halfback, Billy Cannon. LSU is a cinch bowl participant, and if they get by Duke, Mississippi State, and Tulane, well, they'll finish with a perfect record. Now, here's how the various conferences shape up right now. First off, in the Missouri Valley area here, the Big 8 Conference, it's Oklahoma. They beat challenging Colorado last Saturday, but Missouri certainly is improving rapidly, and the winner automatically goes to the Orange Bowl. In the Missouri Valley Conference, North Texas State is leading, with Tulsa and Houston right behind. And in the Southwest Conference, it's a dogfight as usual down there in Texas and Arkansas, with Texas Christian and Rice on top, and Southern Methodist only a step back, and Texas, of course, is still dangerous. In the Border Conference, out here in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, it's Sammy Baugh, Hardin Simmons Cowboys looking the best. The former Washington Redskin passer knows how to teach him how to pass. In the Southeastern Conference, Louisiana State and Auburn both are unbeaten, but they don't meet, of course. Vanderbilt and Mississippi also look good. In the Southern Conference, West Virginia and Virginia Military are outclassing the rest, but they don't play each other either. In the Atlantic Coast, Clemson beat North Carolina earlier, but Jim Tatum's Tar Heels are coming real fast now. The Air Force Academy and Oklahoma State are a couple of fine independents, and 3 lesser-known schools still unbeaten are Mississippi Southern, Northeastern Oklahoma State, and St. Benedict's of Kansas. And, Jack, that's how things look up to this Saturday.
All right, let's do a little forecasting here and now, Len. Your home base is at Tulsa, Oklahoma. First, let's cover that part of the country. Looking at Saturday's schedule, I wanted to ask you certainly about the Missouri and Colorado game. What do you think?
Well, Jack, that is a real tough one to pick. Colorado is a slight favorite. Missouri started off very slow, but they've come on real fast, and Colorado, of course, got up for the big one with Oklahoma, but they lost it, and I'm going to pick Missouri in an upset in that one.
You are? Missouri over Colorado. All right, we'll hold you to that one on Monday morning. How about that Army-Rice game?
That's another tough one, Jack. Full house down at Houston, incidentally. Rice started off slow, but they beat Texas 34-7 a couple of weeks ago, had a week of rest. And, of course, I respect Army, and if they have their great back, Pete Dawkins, and also Harry Walters back in there, I'd have to pick Army's cadets over Rice.
Even without depth?
Well, they're pretty tough.
In the South, there were 2 games, Duke at Louisiana State University, and secondly, Mississippi State at Auburn.
Well, Duke's been up and down, and I can't hardly go against LSU because they've allowed their opponents only about 4 points a game on defense, and of course they've got a wonderful offensive team too, and I'm going to have to pick Louisiana State. And in that Auburn-Mississippi State game, Auburn's the top defensive team in the country. They don't even let their opponents score a touchdown a game, about 4 points a game average, and I'll have to go with Auburn there, although Wade Walker's team is pretty good.
You've looked over most of the talent out in the Missouri Valley. Who do you think will make All-American this year, Len?
Well, Jack, there's lots of fine players. Prentice Goff, Oklahoma fullback, has looked real good. Opie Bandy, a Tulsa tackle, has impressed me quite a bit. Jim Wood, an end from Oklahoma State, But the guy I'm going to have to pick as just about a unanimous choice, I think, will be Bob Harrison, Oklahoma's great center.
Now in the South.
Well, there's Jerry Wilson of Auburn, fine end. Vel Heckman of Florida is a great tackle. But the fellow I mentioned a moment ago, LSU's great halfback, who is big and fast, Billy Cannon, is a certain All-America choice.
Yeah, I disagree with the polls. I think LSU has the best team in the country right now. Even though there are other experts, including Lou Little, that picked Iowa. How about the Southwest?
Well, in the Southwest, Jim Schillenberg, a Texas tackle, has shown brightly this year, along with Don Meredith, that great passing sensation from SMU. But I think the man who has the best chance in the Southwest to make All-American is end Buddy Dial of Rice Institute, a very fine pass catcher.
All right, I'll throw a spot question to you right now. Who do you think will be the top team in the, first of all, in the Southwest?
Well, in the Southwest, I'm going to pick a dark horse, Jack, and go along with Texas Christian, but you know how that Southwest Conference is. You never know who's going to knock each other off.
They beat each other. And in the South?
Well, I'll have to stick with LSU till they get beaten.
You bet. Certainly, which teams do you think will come up in the Missouri Valley on top?
I might be a little prejudiced there, but I'll have to go with Oklahoma. They haven't lost in that area in a long time.
No, they haven't. And last week ran over Colorado quite well. There's criticism here and there that Oklahoma has a great record because it generally plays a soft schedule. True or false?
Well, Jack, that's a question that comes up quite often. Oklahoma actually has 6 games they have to play in the conference. They play Oklahoma State and Texas every year, their traditional rivalry. So Bud Wilkinson actually can schedule only 2 teams. Last year it was Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. This year Oregon, West Virginia, and next year Army and Northwestern, and I can't call that a soft schedule.
All right. Well, thanks to you, Len Morton, for being our guest this morning.
Thank you, Jack.
A pleasure having you to discuss these teams with us, a real expert from that part of the country. And this is Today on NBC.